Hey guys, it's Angela and I am back making videos finally. I have been sick for 2 weeks, you guys. I could not kick whatever I had. I still have a little tickle in my throat. Hopefully you can't hear it that well. Fingers crossed. But seriously, I answer a lot of phones at work and I sounded like a man. I got called sir almost constantly for 2 weeks. It was embarrassing. But while I was off BookTube and YouTube in general, I got excited and inspired to make really new and interesting videos. But first, we got to do the stereotypical video, and that would be my March book haul. And we're going to start with the books that I received in March through the mailbox. The first thing I was sent in the mail would be Smoke by Dan Valletta. I was sent this from Doubleday, and the back sounded so interesting. It kind of sounded like a darker shade of magic type premise, which intrigued me greatly, and I had to start it right away. I'm a little over 100 pages currently, and to be honest with you guys, I was going to DNF this book. It wasn't really that interesting, but once I hit about page 90, things really started to pick up, so hopefully it keeps this same pace and I can finish it and put a review video up for you guys on this book. The next two books have a little bit of an interesting story behind them. I was contacted by Grace from Love and Them Books, and she asked me if I wanted to be a part of the BookTube tours, and I said, of course. Talking about new and exciting books, that sounds amazing. Sign me up. And I actually got chosen to be a part of a tour, and it is a sequel, so I'm going to show you guys the first book first because Grace asked if I needed it, and I did. I had checked it out from the library, but I did not get to finish it, and that would be The Novice by Taran Matharu. Taran, yeah, butchered it. But anyway, I actually read this book this month, and be sure and stay tuned for my April wrap up where I go into more of my thoughts on this book. I did enjoy it, but I cannot wait to get to the sequel, which is The Inquisition. Yes, The Inquisition. This one left it off at a cliffhanger, so I really need to pick this one up like ASAP. When this book first came out, it seemed to be getting hauled a whole lot on BookTube, but I really didn't hear anyone's thoughts on it, so I'm anxious to talk about this and the Inquisition here and see what people think of them. Because when I read books, I really don't look on Goodreads that much. If a book is kind of slow, then I might peek and see if the majority think I should continue or what they thought of the book so I don't waste my time. But I try to avoid it when I first start reading a book because I want as unbiased an opinion as possible. The next book I was sent by Hachette, and that would be Every Exquisite Thing by Matthew Quick. I do own The Good Luck of Right Now by Matthew Quick, but I have yet to read it, so this was my very first Matthew Quick book. I watched Silver Linings Playbook, and I didn't quite enjoy it as much as some other people did, so I'm really not interested in reading that book. This book I did enjoy. I will mention it a little bit in my April wrap up, but I'm going to be posting a separate review video for this on this channel, so that will be coming in May sometime. I feel like if I would have gotten this when I was younger, I may have enjoyed it a bit more. But this book is about a girl who is discovering herself and her personal growth journey while she's in high school. It's very quirky, and like I said, I did enjoy it, but I felt like it came into my life maybe just a little bit too late, kind of missed that train. The next book I received from Echo Books, which is an imprint of HarperCollins, and it would be The Underdogs by Melissa Fay Green. This is about service dogs and their story from what I gather, and all I know is if a dog dies in this book, I'm DNFing it because I cannot stand animal abuse or sad things with animals at all. You guys, I cry during Boxing Out, okay? So, yeah, no, not happening. I just can't do it. Marley and Me, no. All Dogs Go to Heaven, no. War Horse, I was like a puddle at the very end of the movie, okay? But it looks really interesting, and I'm excited to see what these dogs go through and what their owners that are going through these challenges and disabilities have to face as well. Like I said, if something sad happens, you guys will know on Twitter because I'll be like, no, not happening. The last two books that I was sent are probably the two that I am looking forward to the most. And the first one was sent, I'm going to butcher this publishing name, and I'm sorry, but it is from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. And that would be With Malice by Aline Cook. You guys, this sounds amazing. It is a YA mystery, and I'm just going to read you the back because it sounds so freaking good. So it says two friends, an exotic foreign location, the potential for revenge and jealousy, and an accident that looks like it might have been murder. It didn't matter what the truth was. What mattered was that it was fun to talk about. A gripping and addictive read that grabs the reader and yanks them into a world where nothing is what it seems and where everyone is a suspect. You won't believe how it ends. I cannot wait to get to this book. And the last one is The Girls by Emma Cline. This was sent from Random House, and this sounds absolutely phenomenal. It follows the story of a girl that is getting in with a cult during the 60s. So I'm thinking maybe Charles Manson or a fictionalized account of that. But I'm just going to read the back on this one because, yes, it sounds so good. It says, Northern California during the violent end of the 1960s. At the start of summer, a lonely and thoughtful teenager, Evie Boyd, sees a group of girls in the park and is immediately caught by their freedom, their careless dress, their dangerous aura of abandon. Soon, Evie is in the thrall to Suzanne, a mesmerizing older girl, and is drawn into the circle of a soon-to-be infamous cult and the man who is its charismatic leader. Hidden in the hills, their sprawling ranch is eerie and run down, but to Evie it is exotic, thrilling, charged, a place where she feels desperate to be accepted. As she spends more time away from her mother and the rhythms of her daily life, and as her obsession with Suzanne intensifies, Evie does not realize she is coming closer and closer to unthinkable violence and to that moment in a girl's life where everything can go horribly wrong. It sounds so good. I have a nose itch right now. Oh my gosh. Okay. I love history. If you guys don't know, World War II is my thing. But I also love learning about Charles Manson. I just love the way people's minds work and what prompts them to do what they do. So any really true crime type of thing is right up my alley. And this sounds so good. I cannot wait to get to this book. And now we're getting into the books that I purchased myself or was given for my birthday, which was in March. The first book I purchased would be Fool Me Once by Harlan Coben. I'm actually letting my manager read it right now because I've already read it. Loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. Harlan Coben is an autobi author for me, and this is one of his standalones. And I will talk more about this in my April wrap-up. The next book that I picked up is The Passage by Justin Cronin. This is the first book in a series, and I was originally drawn to the third book before I realized that it was book 3, and I picked up book 1 because I was super intrigued by what I read about book 3. From what I gather, this follows the story of a girl named Amy, who was the result of this government experiment gone wrong or something along those lines, and this lawman was sent to track her down, but he eventually ends up saving her. But while he saves her, the world has gone to ruin. It's an apocalypse type scenario, and she's the only one that can help save the world. Pretty crappy description, but that's all I really remember from the back. It is a chunker, but it looks really intriguing, and I cannot wait to read it. The next book that I got in March should be no surprise, and that would be The Winter's Kiss by Marie Rostowski. I have been waiting to read The Winter's Crime for probably about a year and a half, close to. I read The Winter's Curse, and then I heard that if you don't want to bawl your eyes out, do not read The Winter's Crime. So I was waiting to read that one and this one together, and I've heard amazing things about this book. The next book that I got was The Queen's Poisoner by Jeff Wheeler. I was just browsing around, and this was completely a cover by you guys. It just looked very beautiful, and I was intrigued by the little that I read. I think this is about a boy named Owen whose father does something against the king, so Owen is taken into his court and kind of forced to be the king's slave, and then his dad messes up again, and Owen's life is on the line, so he kind of has to prove his worth, which kind of sounds really interesting to me at the moment. I am all obsessed about, that sort of political aspect behind the King's Court, especially with Game of Thrones coming back on next Sunday. Oh my gosh. This coming Sunday, rather. Super excited about that and about this. Cannot wait to read it. It looks beautiful, and let's see how it looks underneath. Oh yes, this is the one with that. Isn't that pretty? Yes. Then I picked up Never Never by Brianna R. Shrum. This is, I believe, a Captain Hook retelling. Maybe. James Hook is a child who only wants to grow up. Yes. So this is about Captain Hook, and it sounded really good. I also picked up Unhooked by Lisa Maxwell. I thought that I got the same thing, but it was two different things, which I was super excited about. And I cannot wait to read both of them. I'm on this huge Once Upon a Time kick right now, especially Captain Hook is my favorite character, like, hands down. Favorite on the show. But I'm digressing majorly. So, yeah. I picked up both of these. They both look really good. I am a sucker for a good Peter Pan retelling, and I just cannot wait to dive into them. The next book comes highly recommended from Becca Awesome Booknut, and that would be The False Prince by Jennifer A. Nielsen. Yes. This is the first book in a series, and I just decided to get the one from Thrift Books. So if I like it enough, maybe I can continue on. Next book is a prequel, and I have not read the rest of the series because you guys know how I feel about prequels. I really don't like them. I've grown to like the characters that I've been introduced to and kind of don't like going back all that much. But I heard about this book on the channel, Fred Weasley Died Laughing, and I really, really trust her opinions. So I decided to go ahead and pick up The Magician's Apprentice by Trudy Kavanaugh. Like I said, it is a prequel, and she just seemed to rave about this book and this series in general on one of the BookTube SFF recommendation videos. So yeah, I decided I would give it a go, and what better place for me than to start with the prequel. And the last two books were given to me by my sister for my birthday because she is awesome, and the first one would be The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine. This just looks amazing, and I just love the cover, and the apple, like the words are actually kind of indented, so that's pretty cool. And the second is A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. I really enjoyed A Darker Shade of Magic. It took me a minute to get into, but toward the end I was hooked, so I could not wait for this book, and I'm so grateful that she got it for me for my birthday. So those are the books that I hauled in March. Let me know what you got or read down in the comments below, and what is your most anticipated April read. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!